Hi Anika, sorry to take so long to get back to you with the video. It's been a really busy day. Sorry about that. Okay, so looking at assignment 1.3, they're giving you some statistics here for the World Series games. And so games are the best of seven. And so the first team who wins four games is the winner of the series. So that's how that works, okay? So in the instance where it says four games, what that means is that one team won four games in a row and that the other team won zero games. And so that happened 11 times. For five games, that would mean that one team won one game and one team won four games, and that's happened 10 times, and so on. So if we're looking at the questions that we're supposed to consider here, um, it says list all of the possible outcomes for a World Series between Team A and Team B. So if we make a little list here, A and B, I won't go through them all, but I'll get you started. So Team A could win in four games, okay? Or, and that would mean that Team B would have zero. Or Team A would win in five games and B would win one of those games, and so on. So then you would have to reverse it as well, and so B could win in four games and Team A would win zero games, and so on. Figure out the total number of outcomes, total ways that that can be done differently with one team winning four games. So, are the outcomes equally likely? Explain. So, when you figure out all the different possibilities, just like when we're doing two dice and we roll the dice and we add the numbers up, there's more ways to get a 7. We can get like 2 plus 5, or 1 plus 6, or 3 plus 4, than there is to get a 2. There's only 1 plus 1, and that's it. So in this case, you want to look at that and say, is there more than one way for the series to go in 5 games, or 6 games, or 7 games, and see if there's more than one possibility there to make up the 7 games, or the 6 games, or the 5 games. So question 3 is asking, since the World Series goes to 7 games almost half of the time, do you think that it's been rigged? So what they're suggesting here in this question is that they make more money on ticket sales and on TV rights. So if they have 7 games for people to purchase tickets for or to broadcast over the TV, it makes the teams more money. So is it rigged? Is it set up so that it's not just chance that one team wins in 4 games straight, or one team has to, win 4 games when the other team's won 3 games, and it goes all the way out to 7 games. So you have to judge by the probabilities based on the number of outcomes for the series going to 6 games or 7 games, etc., whether or not it's reasonable that there could be a probability of 50% of the series going to 7 games. So in that case, you're going to justify your answer, and then you're going to move down to the simulate the World Series. So in a case where you can win or lose, you could just flip a coin to simulate that. In other words, to show how that would work. So heads could be winning and tails could be losing, and so every time you flip a coin, it could be exactly the same as one team winning or losing in the World Series. If you try that and you see how often you get the heads and the tails and how often Team A or Team B would win, then that's going to be your experimental probability. So you would compare that to your theoretical probability that you got in the first section of the question. If you make a table and you do this 60 times and you record all of your results, then you'll have some good data to look at to compare to the actual theoretical data here. So in part B, it's asking you to make a histogram, and I sent you some information on that. You can do a histogram by hand, or you can learn Excel, and I can send you a tutorial URL for a good tutorial if you need one. You could also try Google Spreadsheet. Any program that will give you a histogram when you type in the data will work. And so from that histogram, we're then going to try to determine if the the experimental probability of the World Series ending in 7 games, we will be able to tell that from the histogram. How many times did it happen when you flipped a coin that we won in 7 games before one team had 4 wins? Then you're going to look at the actual results from the chart at the beginning, and you're going to compare the two, the experimental and the actual, and then draw conclusions as to whether or not you think that it's natural that the World Series goes to 7 games 50% of the time, or do you think something else is happening there? Is there some kind of human interference where maybe there's a bit of cheating going on, or they're manipulating something to make the series go to 7 games? Keep in mind also that there could be other factors, because this is a real world experience and not everything is set up like the experiment. There might be other factors affecting it, and you should consider that as well and mention what some of those factors might be. I hope that helps. If not, please send me another email. We'll keep trying until we get it all figured out, okay?